Hello, everybody, and welcome to the TechHut YouTube channel. In this one, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite kind of niche items within the self-hosting space, and that is Doomsday stuff, prepper type software. Real quick, you may notice a different background, new office. There might be an echo, I'm sorry. But basically what this project, Project Nomad, seems to be is kind of like the video that I made a while back about self-hosting the internet, where you can get maps, Wikipedia, and all that kind of stuff just hosted locally for use when you have no internet, or potentially when nobody has internet. You can see knowledge that never goes offline, Wikipedia, AI, maps, education tools, all running in your own hardware. I haven't tested it out. That's what we're doing in this video. For a lot of this stuff, I'm familiar with using like the Zim formats or the Zim readers for self-hosting things like, if you're interested, watch the video. I'll go ahead and link it up right here. But we're going to go ahead and try out Project Nomad. Seems like it could do a lot. It could be a real nice one, easy to go solution. So let's go ahead and get this installed after we thank the sponsor of today's video. So Project Nomad is great if you're trying to run something for the worst case scenario, but if you're not in a worst case scenario, SurfSense is another great open source tool that is worth checking out. It's a great open source AI research tool that you can completely self-host. It connects to pretty much everything: Google Drive, Slack, Notion, over 25 different sources in total. It connects all your stuff, it indexes everything, and then you can chat with all your data to get cited answers back to you. You can think of it like your very own self-hosted version of Perplexity or Notebook LM. The part that I think is really cool is it supports locally hosted AI models with Ollama, so your data gets to stay completely on your hardware. It has team collaboration built in, so you can share search spaces, chat in real time, and even generate reports or podcasts from your own knowledge base. The whole thing runs on Docker and it just takes one command to get it going. So if you're into the idea of actually owning your research workflow and not having everything in some cloud provider, SurfSense is something that is definitely worth checking out. And of course, there's going to be a link down below. So back onto Project Nomad. What we have here is a nice little Ubuntu VM. I'm going to go ahead and test this out. If I like it, end up using it, I'm going to put it on like a little Zima board too, and just have that accessible and ready whenever. But what we're going to do here is grab the project, and it looks like this is going to set up with a simple installer script. And actually skimming through the installer script, it looks like it's going to be using Docker. So we will just go ahead and run it on this fresh Ubuntu VM that I have here. So let's just give this a copy and then run all of these commands to update our system and pull the script. There we go, it's running. If you already have it installed, the script can screw things up. I am going to continue. I agree with their terms. Apache license, fine by me. Looks like we're pulling some images. Uses a good amount. We have some MySQL in here. Postgres would have been cool. Redis, disk collector, a separate container for updating. So it is a larger stack for a single application, to be fair. Granted, it also does have quite a bit going on here. So we're just waiting for 2 more of these containers. And here we go. We now have access. GPU acceleration not detected. So if we wanted to actually utilize that AI, I would enable that. But we're just going to go ahead and test this out here. Go to our local IP address. And here we go. We're into the command center. So first things first, let's check our offline maps, see if that works. Assuming it's just going to be, Map Libre. But this might be something I have to dive a little bit into. If you didn't know, I'm a bit of a map nerd. Got a whole ass geoscience degree. No map regions. So let's go to the map settings, see how easy this is. We have our Pacific region. So yeah, this is very similar to some of the processes to get the offline data for OpenStreetMaps. So let's just go ahead and grab that. That's where I'm at. And it's been queued. Looks like we global coverage for astonishing 125 gigs. Hey, will you look at that? We got some data. And it looks like it's pretty decent when it comes to the map. I mean, if you're really needing to use this, that means you're in a pinch. And I mean, it sure does beat having to carry around like a dramatic amount of paper maps, that's for sure. You're not going to get GPS or anything like that, but a map is a map. So let's go back to home. It looks like that's kind of the default thing that's on there. So Let's go ahead and go through this easy setup wizard here. So for this, I'm actually going to just skip this local AI. We know what local AI is, and we've tested it and used it quite a bit. So information library, that is a kind of Zim format thing right there. And the education platform, I haven't really used this. An offline first learning platform. This looks like something that's really cool, honestly. Let's go ahead and grab that. And then from there, let's go. Actually, additional tools. What do we got here? Notes, flat notes, sure, and data tools, mine as well. So let's go ahead and go next. We already got our map region. I probably should have just started with this little, the actual installer or the quick start thing. Let's go next. So we have our Wikipedia. So again, in the old video, I showed you the commands and kind of the list of all the files. This is really cool because we can actually kind of grab everything if we want to. Complete Wikipedia with no images. Just for this kind of little reference, we are going to grab just the popular articles for now. I would grab the full Wikipedia for my official setup. Additional content, we have medicine, survival preparedness. This is really nice. I do appreciate this. So we'll just grab essential, medicine, probably important, education reference. So we have wiki books, TED Ed, Wikiversity. So you can really pile in a lot of stuff in here with minimal effort. You don't really have to go and really figure out what you need. It's all kind of here for you. But I don't want to download too much because I want this to kind of be quick. Free code camp, Docker documentation, Linux documentation. Let's do it. And submit. Okay, just for now, just for this little test, I think that's going to be good. Let's go next. We have our selections to review. So this is all of the data that we're going to have available for offline use. So let's complete the setup. And there we go. It's pulling a few more Docker containers. So this is definitely a Docker intensive suite here. Like if I go over here, run a Docker PS, boy, you can see it's really filling up here with the containers. So if you are going to run this, you should run it probably independently or in some kind of VM, or at least that's what I would recommend. So we have our active downloads here. We're getting our bug out roll, our winter prepping stuff. I mean, definitely when I set this up, I'm probably just going to download everything, like really important essential stuff on the Zima board, and then in my actual home lab cabinet, just everything. I'm a data hoarder, I have to admit. Now it looks like popular articles might take a bit, so we're going to go to home and see what we have here. So we have some more options. We're going to start first with the education platform. This is something I'm real curious what it looks like. So in a way, this command center, Project Nomad, is just kind of like a dashboard and a collection of all these things together. So let's continue. Facility name, let's just go personal. Continue. And there we go. Here is our education platform. So it looks like we don't really have much going on. If I go over here, let's go learn. I can import content page. Looks like we can import from online. Let's do it. Oh, this is cool. Teachable Earth. Hell, I might actually use this for my son. Let's select all of the Teachable Earth. Import that. It was taking a bit too long, so I stopped the import. But just for testing, kind of to see what this looks like, let's learn about China. Playing in China, chess. Oh, it's whole videos.
Hello, my name is Tiger. Today I'm going to tell you about Chinese chess. This is a board of a game, and this is the river to separate.
That's really cool. India, what do we got in here? Facts about India. Map. Okay, so I didn't download a lot. This is pretty lightweight when it comes to the content, but we get the idea here. I don't see the import button anymore. All right, let's go ahead and move on here. We already looked at maps a little bit. We have notes, so this is just going to be flat notes built right into here. If you've ever used flat notes before, it's a pretty good, pretty basic note-taking tool. Overall, it's nice. It's cool that it's in here. Data tools. So Swiss Army knife for data encoding, encryption, and analysis. So we have CyberChef. So it looks like we have some conversion tools, networking stuff, utils. Oh, we have a lot. So much stuff. This is another really good tool, even for learning here. But let's go back out of there. and check out the actual information library. So again, this is just a Zim viewer. We've talked about this before on the channel. We have Wikipedia 100 here. Oh, that's still downloading. We have a bunch of different docs. So if we go to the Docker docs, you can see we've got quite a bit of data here. So if we go to the Docker engine, create swarm, so we have all the full Docker docs hosted locally, so we don't need an internet connection. So let's say you needed to manage your local Docker instance here. You have no way to look up the docs. Well, now you have a way to have the docs. So there's a nice local copy, nice library of all this data. Very useful. If we go home, just to show you kind of a different subject, let's go medical library. Looks like this is a bunch of PDFs. So like the let's general first aid manual we downloaded from 2022. And it goes over, looks like everything you need to know with general kind of first aid stuff. Let's see if they have pictures. They do have some pictures. I mean, 2002 might be a little out of date when it comes to best practice for some of these things, but still good to have nonetheless. Oh, look, the Wikipedia stuff loaded. This is best of Wikipedia. So if we go William Shakespeare, we got his whole life, links and references. And of course, if you download the whole like 100 gig plus version of Wikipedia, it's literally the entire thing. And the fact that they can fit the entire thing with all the images under 200 gigs is crazy to me. Let's go look at settings here. So we got some memory usage. It's using some. 4 cores. It is a lot of Docker containers, to be fair. Some information about our system, our storage devices. I mean, this isn't really settings more than it is a kind of overview of your system. Yeah, I respect it. But yeah, that is Project Nomad. If it's something you find interesting, do let me know down below. I definitely like it compared to the initial implementation that I had. This is going to be something I do deploy and I do keep because, again, I'm a data hoarder, and just having all this information available for offline use is important to me. I like it. You never know when things are going to go down. You're never going to know when you need a first aid kit manual, and just having it is nice. Just a nice little peace of mind. So with all that, do check out our sponsor if you're not as Doomsday. If you have a positive outlook on the future, definitely check out SurfSense because it's going to link up with all your online resources that your team uses, and you can use it to easily communicate with all of your data. It's great stuff. And with all that, I do hope you have an absolutely beautiful day, and goodbye.